Welcome to the future of 2016. Yes, it is scary. Yes, things are more expensive. Yes, time is moving faster. But you know what? Comics get here that much faster. And there's more comics than you can shake a stick at every week. I can barely fit them on the rack. That's why it takes three of us, all three, plus the monkey, to bring you the new comics of the week for the 6th. And as it is the first of the year here, there's, of course, many new Marvel things, as our Professor of Marvel will tell you.
Let's start it off with, we are Seattle's favorite comic book shop, and we have an awesome writer from Seattle, G. Willow Wilson. She is, this is one of the breakout hits of the Secret Wars thing that started this summer and is still technically going on until a few months from now. But anyway, this is after Secret Wars, and this was, if you remember, this brand new character called Singularity, and there's this world called Arcadia, and it was an all-female Avengers. Well, Secret Wars is over, but it's not. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, so this is a brand new A-Force, brand new number one, G. Willow Wilson and Jorge Molina. It is Singularity, and she is coming to the all-new Marvel Now universe. She's got She-Hulk, which was awesome. That's one of the best things I loved about this series this summer. It was such a great showcase for She-Hulk. But Dazzler, Medusa, Captain Marvel's in it now, and Niku Minoru. Anyway, so brand new threats, some cool adventures that kind of tie into the Miss Marvel title. You know, she's got her own kind of spaceship, satellite up in space now in her own series. But it ties into all that. So great new adventures from G. Willow Wilson with an all-female Avengers team. A-Force number one, brand new number one is here this week. Get it. It is awesome adventure fun.
Alright, and I'm not going to let him have all the Marvel fun here, because every single one of my books tonight is Marvel.
What?
Weird, right?
Wow.
I had a DC, but Casey stole it.
Yeah.
My first one, though, is actually the last issue of a storyline. This is Invincible Iron Man number 5, sort of wrapping up his team-up with Doctor Doom here, who, in the wake of Secret Wars, is now both alive and handsome. So,
yeah.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, Richards really got the short end of the stick there.
Yeah.
You mean the entirety of the Fantastic Four, it feels like.
Well, hey, Ben's in space.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, Ben was
Johnny's
screwed
an
over
Avenger.
enough.
Yeah.
He's an Avenger?
Yeah, he's
That's
an
right.
Uncanny Avengers.
That's
It's awesome.
right. That's right.
It's really cool. But over here in Invincible Iron Man, Iron Man has been dealing with the threat of Madame Mask, one of his classic rogues, sort of gathering up all these mystical artifacts of, increasing power. And somehow that's led to Mary Jane's new nightclub in, Chicago, I think?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why not?
She left New York. She was like, oh, this superhero crap is, it's making life such a drag.
I thought they finally got her and Peter
relocate."
back together.
No, of course
No?
not. What?
Oh,
That was
oh.
Secret Wars, man. That didn't count.
No, whatever.
Except for Secret Wars. Secret Wars counts, but the Secret Wars times
Which is
don't
over,
count.
but not technically over.
God damn it.
Do we need to say that again? It's not over yet.
Yeah, issue 9 is coming soon.
Soon.
But my summary of that book is over. Except that it has awesome art by David Marquez. David Marquez is amazing.
Yes.
And I'm going to continue the Marvel schlepping here in the train with the new issue
I've
of
won
Doctor
them over,
Strange.
ladies and gentlemen. I've won them over.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was on your side to begin with.
Yeah, no, I wasn't, and I'm still not. I'm merely just keep
But
your
it's-
enemies close.
but it's Jason Aaron.
It is Jason Aaron and Chris Bachalo, who I love. Doctor Strange number 4. This is, of course, Doctor Strange is like, oh look, there's Doctor Strange again because he's getting a movie. So there's all these characters in our comics, and he's showing up in this stuff and whatever, which is good because Doctor Strange has not been really seen too heavily or prevalent in the past few years. Yeah, this first issue was really fun, and it's kind of starting out as a bit of a larger plot, kind of sandwiched between some case of the week type of deals. Basically, Doctor Strange is kind of a jackass because he's the Sorcerer Supreme, but you would be too if you're the Sorcerer Supreme.
Sure.
And Wong is in here being Wong, as always, awesome. And there's the Magician's Bar, which I really like, which is very cool. But Chris Bachalo doing all his own colors on this, and Jason Aaron continuing to deliver a very fun storyline for those who are excited about the new movie coming out soonish, I think.
Now, Bacala, the first arc was awesome because he captures how Doctor Strange sees the world. So it's almost like Doctor Strange
that
vision,
was really cool.
which is weird maggot kind of demons and all kinds of stuff. And going into the Sanctum Sanctorum, you've never seen it drawn as you've seen it in this arc. So this is an awesome issue for that.
Okay.
But I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to talk about Uncanny X-Men, a brand new #1 Uncanny X-Men. This picks up after Secret War, so you know what's going down. An extraordinary storm is leading that, and then the original X-Men are an all-new X-Men. In the world as we know it now, we've learned that the Terrigen Cloud, which creates new Inhumans, is attacking and killing mutants. So Magneto, he's not having it, and while Storm is trying to create X-Heaven and rescue him, Magneto has assembled his own X-Men, which includes Sabretooth, Monet St. Croix from Generation X and X-Factor Investigations, Psylocke. We do already know that it's not a big shock. Somehow Mystique is going to be joining it, because when you have all these bad guys, you got to have Mystique in there as well. Phantom X is going to be in the wings. And Warren Worthington, the adult one, is now Archangel again somehow. Ooh. And they have Cullen Bunn is writing this, and if you loved his Magneto solo series, basically it's Magneto with kind of Magneto and his amazing mutant crazy evil friends. I'm liking that they kind of kept the inverted Sabretooth, which is kind of cool. But he goes after, once again, he's going after mutant enemies, and the whole thing with how mutants are scared of Terrigen, there's a whole crazy kind of twist. It's not the typical, here's some evil bad guys and let's go send these badass heroes to fight them. It's kind of, Cullen Bunn is really great with the conspiracies and kind of not what I expected. So Cullen Bunn, Greg Land, a lot of badass bad guys being good guys, if you count good guys. Anyway, Uncanny X-Men, brand new. Here you go.
And speaking of badass, over in the totally awesome Hulk.
Awesome!
I almost called Hulk Frank Cho, but no, Amadeus Cho, the current Hulk, being drawn by Frank Cho, written by Greg Pak, and getting his ass kicked by this new character that Frank Cho, of course, has designed. This is Lady Hellbender, who is the alien queen of Seknarf 9 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever that means.
Right,
I don't
you don't
know.
argue with that, I guess.
She has a big sword and a mace and really, really badass boots, and she kicks monster ass. Which also, Amadeus is doing too, but she does it better. They've sort of got like this Pokemon trainer dynamic kind of going on. He's going around beating up monsters and then shrinking them and collecting them with his sister. Actually, is his new roadie pretty much. It's really cool. This is a really fun series. The Hulk smiles all the time, which is terrifying.
It is kind of terrifying. I'll give you that.
But it's Greg Pak. He has fun with every book that he writes, and Frank Cho does the same. So I mean, if that's not a winning combination, I don't know what is.
Yeah, yo. And from DC this week, the creator of Swamp Thing returns to his creation, Len Wein and Kelly Jones, bringing a new chapter in the life of the Earth Elemental. No, I couldn't tell you what the heck went on in the New 52 nonsense. I'm hoping here for a fresh start. And you know what? It's good, because in the first issue of the New 52, you look through half the first issue of Swamp Thing, he wasn't in it. In fact, Swamp Thing wasn't even in the first issue of Swamp Thing. So at least in this, he's in the first page. Like, oh man. But it's a little bit more of an old school read. For those who don't know, Len Wein is definitely a classic creator. He does that kind of describes what's happening in the panel type of thing, which can be good, can be bad. And then Kelly Jones, who is one of the masters of gothic horror, doing this. And I think this is a 6-issue mini. And you know what? I'm definitely down for some creepy horror swamp action from Kelly Jones, definitely. So yeah, new from DC.
Prepare yourselves, sidekicks here. The Professor of Marvel is going to do a double hit of DC.
Uh-oh.
Action Comics and Detective Comics 48. Last year, you may have loved it, you may have hated it, but change is going to happen. Bruce Wayne lost his memory and kind of stepped down, and Jim Gordon stepped up as a new Batman, kind of a high-tech suit, working with the Powers Corporation. So this is kind of an adventure with Jim Gordon as the Batman, a really weird, creepy mystery and kind of a murder. Something you'd see some images right out of Sin City, but really cool. And we're building towards later this year, Bruce Wayne will be reclaiming the thing, but with Jim Gordon and the Powers Company want to keep it up. And over in Action Comics, once again, Superman, no powers, no Clark Kent, jeans and a t-shirt kind of guy, real super cash, lost his powers. The road to repowering ironically, just in time for a Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice movie. But anyway, so Greg Pak is the first chapter in Savage Dawn. Vandal Savage, who's also going to be the big villain. He's the big villain of Legends of Tomorrow, the new CW series. Anyway, this is...
They're putting him on TV.
Yeah,
He's
man,
the
they have
big
Rip
villain.
Hunter. They got Rip
And
Hunter
Rip
in there.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa, dude. Hell yeah.
CW, you're welcome, CW. But back to Action Comics. The road to Superman's journey. He wants to be the Man of Steel again. He wants his powers back. What is he willing to do to get it back? And it all starts here in a big showdown that starts with Vandal Savage. He's in a spacesuit because he can't fly on his own anymore.
What's going on with my heroes these days?
Well, I don't know what's going on with your heroes, but mine are finally reunited here. Probably my childhood hero from
I was going to say,
cartoon.
that's like your 12-year-old
Amazing
wet dream.
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
plus, my 12-year-old hero, Deadpool,
Yeah.
together, at last, again, written by Joe Kelly and drawn by Ed McGuinness, the artist on Deadpool's original ongoing series.
And Joe Kelly was the writer on the original
Yeah.
Deadpool.
So you got real Deadpool pedigree here, and I just saw Deadpool holding someone's brain. Oh my god. Yeah, this starts out with Deadpool and Spider-Man chained together, held over a pit of fire by a demon, and discussing a certain amount of sexual tension between them. So it's really going back to that original characterization for Deadpool.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just, it looks to be jokes everywhere, and I personally am so alright with that. It's also got a special bonus book in the back, Vision #1 actually, which happens to be one of my favorite ongoing titles right now, but more on that later.
Yes. And that's also been selling very well, and it's only $3.99 for that, so it's actually a free extra comic in there, which is like, wow.
You're practically
Marvel.
losing
Yeah, right.
money not buying this book.
There you go, Will. There you go. And new from Image this week. Speaking of Joe Kelly, dude, Joe Kelly. See, this is what happened. We were just talking about Joe Kelly. How he started all these books like years ago and then never finished them. And we were like, well, what happened to Joe Kelly? And now, boom, he's back. Not that he really went anywhere, but Four Eyes, an Image book that he did with Max Fiumara, I want to say like 3 years ago. Finally returning. This is really, really cool. It's Prohibition era dragon fighting, kind of like dog fighting. And it's got a young kid whose dad is a dragon hunter. So there's people who train the dragons, and there's people who hunt the dragons for them to fight. So you have to go to like some, RPG, fantasy mountain, whatever, 5,000 miles away, and go beat the crap out of this dragon or whatever, and then drag him back to New York for like X amount of money. That sounds kind of heavy.
I would not get on a boat with a dragon.
Hell no.
That sounds like a bad
Hell
idea.
no. And so this kid's fathers die, obviously, because he's freaking hunting a dragon. Like, what the hell? And so he owes money to the local mob boss, and what's he got to do? He's got to go hunt dragons at, like, 8. Good luck there, kid.
That's a bad time.
Yeah, but really great art from Max Fiumara. He's kind of desaturated the series. Originally, it was very dark and orange, and now they've kind of made it this kind of Copic wash with some nice orange spots. But very excited. I think this is maybe like a 4 or 5 issue mini. If it all comes out, I'll be amazed. But I'm very excited. Yes.
This is all I needed. This is all I needed to see to buy this book. I love the new Star Wars series, but when Wookiees go to war, there's an evil new Wookiee in the Star Wars Marvel universe, and Chewbacca's going to take him down. You know it is. These are the final 2 chapters, Star Wars and Darth Vader.
Oh, is Vader down?
Vader down
Is
is
he
going down.
done?
These are the final 2 chapters of the first big Marvel Star Wars crossover. Luke Skywalker's been captured. Wookiee versus Wookiee, and Vader all alone against a huge rebel alliance closing in. What will happen? I wonder if he'll get away.
I think Vader might kill some Jedis.
Yes, but it's cool. Like he just kind of, I don't want to give it away, but he does some powers that you never saw him did in the original series. So it's really cool. A lot of fun. Jason Aaron and Kieran Gillen. Once again, they just bring the awesome fun. It's like you walked out of A New Hope and you went right into the story continuing. And once again, this Chewbacca going to get ready to whoop some evil Wookiee butt.
I was looking through that, and it has one of the most insane characters I've seen in any Star Wars media in my life. And I can't tell if I love it or hate it, but when you see it, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And my last book here, you may have guessed, is the new issue of Vision. This is number 3, actually, which we happen to have 1 and 2 still. So,
I know.
if you read that Deadpool and Spider-Man, and you're like, oh, whoa, this is a book that I should have the first issue of, we got it. But the basic premise here that writer Tom King, who's been on Grayson and Omega Men as of late, is working with, is that Vision now moves to Washington, D.C. so that he can be closer to the White House, as he is the Avengers' current government liaison.
Oh. That's a step up from Henry Gyrick.
Yeah, right? Slightly more personable.
Yeah.
Of course, he has recently deleted all of his emotional memories, so that's
Wait,
another
he what?
wrinkle there. Yeah, he just decided that was a good idea. You know, Wanda comes back into the fold, that's a bit too much to deal with. He's just got to let go of some baggage.
This is smelling like that Red Tornado family thing that he had working for a little while.
Oh, yeah, a little bit, except instead of adopting, he just decided to build his own family.
Less weird.
So, yeah, now he's got a wife and kids, and they all look like him. They're pink and weird looking, but they've actually got hair. I like that he chose to give them
That's
hair.
awesome, they have hair.
Like, his son's got a fade going on, too. I'm like, how does a robot have a fade? What is that?
How does he shave? Does he just turn it down? Or like...
I don't know, man. Don't ask these questions. But it took a really creepy turn in the first issue. Very, very, very creepy. On top of the questions of, like, you know, what defines humanity? Like, what kind of consciousness does a robot have? They brought some severe murdering into it. As you may guess from the cover, Vision's wife accidentally killed the Grim Reaper, who has a certain connection to the Vision family.
Yeah.
You know, it's this whole extended family thing that I love about the Marvel Universe,
Yeah, right.
and I feel like as of late they haven't really tapped into that enough. But Tom King seems to have some serious love for the Marvel Universe in this book. Yeah, I've been loving it. And Gabriel Hernandez Walta, the artist, is phenomenal. He has so much more atmosphere in his work than like half the people working in the industry right now.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
I think that about sums it up for the week. We also there were a couple of books last week, like Obi-Wan, Spidey 2, that were out, and then not out, and then out again. So they're out officially now.
100% official.
Yeah,
Yes.
available to buy as long as you have green money. But yeah, and I think that's going to be about it. We hope you all have a wonderful start to your new year.
Happy New Year.
And we will see you all later.